My first ever sales role, I was a door-to-door salesman. I was selling business internet, phone lines, and TV to small mom and pop shop businesses in the farmlands of Pennsylvania. I would wake up every morning at 6 a.m., be in my car at 6:30 to drive an hour, hour and a half out to my territory. I'd park my car and I would door knock 25 to 35 small businesses, pizza shops, barber shops, gyms. Every single day, there were 60 reps in my division. Every day, I would receive a report of where everybody stacked ranked in the division. So you could see who's hitting quota, who's not, who's struggling, who's killing it. And I was consistently the worst performing rep in the division. I was probably the first rep in Comcast Business's history to not hit any of the quota during ramp and to miss quota 12 out of 12 times. I worked there for a year, 12 months. We had a monthly quota. I went perfect, 12 for 12 in terms of missing my quota. I worked the weekends. I worked harder than everybody else. I cold called more than everybody else. I hit more doors. I got more meetings set up. But when it's time to have a conversation with the customer, I had no idea what I was doing. Absolutely no idea. Now, this is a story for another video, but everybody who was doing well at the company at the time in my division was committing fraud. But again, I'll talk about that in a different video. That doesn't take away from the fact that I was by far the worst rep. So bad. And it was soul crushing getting that email every single day and seeing that you're the only one on the team missing quota. You only sold one deal out of your required 8, and there's 2 days left in the month. And then I would go into my sales manager's office, and she'd pull up the numbers, and she'd pull up the heat map, and I'd see that my entire heat map was completely red, where everybody else's on the team was maybe a red thing here, but mostly green. It was soul-crushing. And I came across this post on LinkedIn. In order to be great at selling, number 1, be bad at selling. Number 2, practice. It's hard to fail if you never give up on number 2. This resonates with me because this is me to a T. I know there's people on LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, they got out of college and it just clicked for them. And they were really good, really talented, crushing their quotas, hitting President's Club. That wasn't me whatsoever. I consistently missed my quota for 12 straight months. It didn't click for me. It might not be clicking for you. But if you put in the work, you might be bad right now, but if you put in the work will take care of you, and it's inevitable that all the work you put in will compound and you'll start to figure it out. But let's not get it twisted, guys. I'm not one of those people who was killing it at all. I was so bad. And it's funny, if you asked any of the people at Comcast Business, they'd be like, yeah, Matt, great kid, worked really hard, but he was so bad at selling, I'm surprised he even has a sales YouTube channel. Like, that's what they would say. And I completely get it. You know, if I was in their shoes, I'd be like, what the heck is he? He's talking about sales on YouTube? He was the worst rep out of 60. Like, what's going on here? I was bad, but I was stubborn, and I just put all my free time, not all my free time, but most of my free time into figuring this whole thing out, and then over time, it started to click. But man, oh man, guys, I was bad. So the main thing I learned is you might start off being bad at something, but if you put in the work over time, it will compound and you'll start to get better. It's inevitable if you keep practicing and keep getting coached up, but you'll figure this whole thing out. You'll start closing deals, hitting quota, and not be like me when I first started, missing quota 12 to 12 times. But I guess we got to start somewhere. And I'm actually happy that it happened, because I think if I started out like where it just clicked right away for these other people, I think my expectations or reality of this whole thing would be a bit jaded. And I'm happy I started in door-to-door sales too. I don't think there's a tougher sale than walking into a business, interrupting someone's day, getting kicked out. I got the cops called on me sometimes. Like, it was a job that I'll look back on the rest of my career and be like, wow, that job sucked, but I'm really happy I did it because I learned a lot. But man, oh man, I was horrible.